the huge problem with Stranger Things is Vecna. Vecna is the main antagonist of the season 4, and honestly, one of the most dumb writing I've seen on a character. Don't get me wrong, he's pretty intimidating and scary if you're like 8 years old. Jokes aside, it was a pretty spooky season. Definitely went in darker than before, and I feel like that's really cool. But we're here to talk about the writing, and that was definitely really bad. Henry Creel's character development into One or Vecna is actually really incomplete. I'm calling it incomplete because there's also a season 5 where they might change it, but if it's not included in season 5, then it's just concluded to be bad writing. So the main problem lies in that there is no base to the changes that happen to him mentally. By that I mean Henry is different, okay. The teachers and doctors tell him that he is broken, but his parents, from what we've seen so far, they seem to be loving and they moved somewhere else simply for the better growing up of Henry. So it doesn't make sense how Henry's suddenly turned against his family just because of some mistakes that they did which don't even relate to him. And this is incomplete because you can fix this by adding a few certain elements. For example, you can say that his parents always told Henry that he was not broken, but then after Henry got the power somehow, which is never explained by the way, he was able to read his parents' minds and they thought that he was broken. And that caused internal trauma and it broke him basically. He became a misanthropic person. The second way is something I've seen on Reddit actually, and it's that the mother is kind of messed up basically. So the theory goes like the mother actually went to Dr. Brenner while she was pregnant, and for money or whatever reason really, she was ready to be experimented on. At least the embryo was to be experimented on. And so we have reason for why Henry has powers and why he is broken or like antisocial. You know, once he's able to access the powers after he's grown a bit, he's able to read their minds and understand that the mother was the one who broke him. This causes more trauma and basically he becomes Vecna or whatever. It's simple writing like this. That's why just including this would have been adding closure to the entire season. Because this alone is such bad writing. It's so incomplete. The entire character arc is just... it's not convincing. This isn't limited to Vecna, but in cinema and modern movies and TV especially, the antagonist is crippled to the absolute at moments when the plot needs them to be weak. The point of the antagonist is that they don't care, and they'll do anything to achieve their messed up goals. So it is really stupid to not make them use their maximum effort in situations that could directly result in their victory. Vecna hates using his powers, apparently. Take a look at this scene. This man has vines that he can control that could break bones, and he just chooses to stand there and enjoy the warmth. He can tilt his head and they'd all be crushed to juices, but he just stood there, eating the Molotov. Same with this scene where Max is running. It would have been extremely easy to catch her using his vines or his psychokinesis. But he has chosen not to because, well, you know, the plot. The writers must have been high on acid when they wrote that one. Huge dumb plot hole. Okay, so this is really kinda irritating, but there's this huge plot hole throughout the season, and it basically throws the entire season away. And it's with one. Why, in his not-so-right mind, would Brenner think that it's a good idea to have one work in the lab as a white cloth guy? Being able to directly interact and manipulate the children is a huge risk that is taken for absolutely no reason whatsoever. If Brenner wanted to torture one for whatever reason, he should have cut off his tongue or something. Oh, and yeah, torturing and angering a supernatural misanthropic person is definitely a very good idea. Why was one there? It doesn't make sense, and I don't know. And Godspeed to anyone who does. That's about it. This season was not too great. It was bad actually. This season was bad along with season 3. Season 2 was actually not that bad. And season 1 was great. And no, it just keeps getting worse. Netflix in its entirety is going down in value. That's about it. Thank you for watching the video and go drink some water now.
Batak